So welcome everyone to part 3 of our BlackLine YouTube video series on matching. And today we're going to cover credit card matching and how you can leverage that to create major efficiencies in your process. A little bit about myself. So my name is Brandon Rayborn. I'm the practice lead here at Sensiba. And for the past decade, I've devoted my career as a CPA to working with organizations to unlock the benefits of technology in their financial close and accounting processes. In order to give you a sense of who Sensiba is, we're very proud that we are a certified B Corporation, one of only a handful of accounting firms in the nation. And this designation indicates that we strive to balance purpose and profits. If you're interested, you can go out to our website at sensiba.com to find out more. So what we're going to do is set the stage today with this slide, and then we'll continue with the rest of the video in a live kind of demonstration of what the power of credit card matching can do for you and your organization. BlackLine's transaction matching tool is incredibly robust. It's designed to get your teams out of rainbow spreadsheets and manual Excel-based spreadsheets into a more analytical approach where you can focus your time and effort on the exceptions, or what we like to call the extraordinary, rather than spending all your time figuring out what does and doesn't clear. And this doesn't have to wait till the end of the month during the busy period. You can do this on a daily basis. So picture with me an accounting team that's responsible for a high volume credit card matching process. The preparer logs into BlackLine in the morning, and rather than spending time on what did or didn't match, they will already have the matching engine run. All of the work to clear transactions has been performed through automated data feeds that got loaded overnight into the system. And so those accountants or preparers are just spending a couple of minutes looking at what's unmatched, flagging a handful as maybe timing, maybe some more as eligible for further automated matching through additional pass rolls, and then the last few as, say, matching with some key data identifiers missing. Those timing items become known and expected, and then the other two subsets can be sent by a BlackLine admin or through an automated job to the reconciliation for the month-end close process. So end to end, what used to take, say, 10 to 12 hours during that critical month-end close period now just takes 5 minutes a day. This is not some futuristic utopia. This is today for clients that adopt BlackLine's automated transaction matching. And this third video in our series is one that I'm particularly excited about, as it's extremely common across organizations in a multitude of industries to need to clear and reconcile large volumes of credit card transactions. I've seen hospital systems, a footwear manufacturer, retail companies, insurance organizations, banks, credit unions, hospitality and restaurant organizations benefit immensely from the power of BlackLine's matching tool to automate credit card transactions. Now what I'd like to do is transition over to a demo instance within BlackLine, and today I'm logged in as Kim Wilson into one of our partner demo data instances, and we are in the June 30th, 2023 period, and I'm kind of looking at reconciliations in which Kim is assigned primarily as the preparer. And so when I clicked into the 64, it popped up all of the records, and I've kind of filtered down knowing that I actually want to look at our Atlanta division, the processor receivable reconciliation, which is where all of our inbound credit card data is coming in. So to kind of set the stage here, we can pull in banking information, third-party credit card processor information, no matter what the third-party processor is, as well as GL information. So it's really common to have to do tiered kind of three-way matching is the way I might think about this. So you'll be matching, in some cases, the point of sale data to the processor, and then you'll also be matching the processor or third-party processor to the bank. In certain scenarios, there's also a layer where we're also matching to the ledger or the GL. Really depends on your accounting and how the entries are being booked as to what would make sense for those inbound data sources. But suffice it to say, regardless, BlackLine can manage as many inbound data sources as needed to fully automate your credit card processing. The first thing that you'll notice at the very top of this screen is that we have this associated match set section in this reconciliation. So this is in the account reconciliation product within BlackLine, but it's fully integrated with the transaction matching product. And so in this example, there's two different match sets. And again, why is that? Because I like to think of this as that tiered matching. So one step is for us to match point of sale data to the third party processor. And then the second step is to clear that third party processor data against what actually flowed through our bank account. And that's what these two different rows are illustrating. And so what you'll notice is BlackLine, as far as point of sale data, has matched a very large percentage and volume of transactions, so greater than 73,000. And then there's a remaining little over 200 suggested matches. Again, as a quick reminder, the difference between an automatic and suggested match is automatic requires no further human intervention or approval. Suggested matches, you can expand out the logic a little bit broader and allow BlackLine to make suggestions in which a human does go in and review those suggestions and either approve them so they go into the manual match bucket or reject them and they go back to the unmatched grid. Let's just drill down for sake of illustration here to see the power of what we could do to clear point of sale transactions to the third party processor. And so what I'm going to do here is kind of drill down and look at all of the different underlying logical pass rules that are built out in this demo data. And one of the things that you'll notice is these pass rules are divided out by payment type. That is a very common use case and scenario for how we would accomplish credit card matching in BlackLine. So we can break out whether it's Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, even if it's online payment, Shopify. In cases of restaurants, Uber or Uber Eats, and all the other various different kind of delivery services, whatever the different payment types are, could be built out. And the reason that we would do that is oftentimes, depending on the payment type, that will help us to define and target in the specific logic for what does and doesn't need to clear. So it's just giving you the ability to truly automate end to end the logic needed to clear as many transactions as possible. So for now, I'm just going to go pick and filter down by an Amex pass rule. And let's just go look at an example of what a match looks like. So in this case, everything that we see on the very top is point of sale information coming in, and everything down below is third-party credit card processor information. Fields that are in blue are indicated as part of the actual pass rule logic for what BlackLine looked at to consider this a good match. So in this example, we're matching on store, payment type, the actual dates, as well as the authorization code and the amounts. So there's a number of different elements here, total of 5 different fields across both data sources that have to equal each other in order for this to be a good match. Now, one of the things you might notice is our amounts match, authorization code matches, payment type matches, store matches, but the dates are slightly off. And this is really common where maybe point of sale got actually transacted on the 9th, but it didn't clear the credit card processor for a couple of additional days. That's something that's very common. It's easy for BlackLine to build in that logic. And so in this case, there was a tolerance built in that allowed for that 5 days in difference between what got transacted at the retail point of sale versus what cleared in the credit card processor. So that's a simple example of how we would break it out by payment type. What I'd like to do now is go look at an example of where a suggested match with some broader logic might come into the mix here. One of the things that we'll notice in these suggested pass rules is, again, they're also broken out by the various different payment types. And in this example, I'll just kind of filter down by Visa and MasterCard. And let's go look at an example of what BlackLine made as a suggestion. So again, broader logic. Let's understand kind of what the nuance is here and the difference. So we do have two different days here. So there's still kind of a lag between when point of sale happens and when the credit card processor clears the transactions. But one of the things that I notice immediately is, for whatever reason in our underlying point of sale data, our authorization code here did not match what cleared in the credit card processor. So this is an example where we could drop off that criteria. It's not in blue, therefore it's not part of the underlying logic that BlackLine looked at, and make a suggestion here. So I, as Tim Wilson, can take a look at this and say, everything else cleared other than the authorization code. I know in certain cases, depending on the actual point of sale registers that we have, authorization codes don't sometimes come through. It's an existing system limitation that we have out there. So I'm comfortable approving this suggested match. And when that happens, any approved suggested matches go into the manual match bucket. And so what's left? Well, as the preparer, I would be focused on the unmatched grid and understanding what is left out of all of the thousands and tens of thousands of transactions that have cleared. So while on the point of sale side, we have a number of transactions, a little over 9,000, there's only 3 on the credit card processing side that are still remaining. And these are all 3 that I would research, further reconcile, and either send them to the reconciliation as timing items or potentially put them out as a reconciling item that need to be further researched. And that's really the process, right? So we're freeing up a lot of time, letting BlackLine in the system clear as many of the transactions as possible, and then allowing the users and the accountants to focus on where the risk actually lies within a given process. With that being said, I'd like to switch back over and just quickly conclude on some of the powers of credit card matching. This is one of the most common use cases out there, especially for organizations that have high volume credit card transactions and lots of processes around getting that to be reconciled. Our next video series is going to be also one of my other favorite use cases, suspense account matching. And this is where organizations that might have clearing or suspense accounts can leverage the power of BlackLine matching to get similar benefits to all of the other scenarios and use cases that we've gone through today. If anyone has any further, questions or comments, you can always reach out to us at sensiba.com, or my contact information is on this last slide. We appreciate your time today. Look forward to hearing about how you're going to leverage the BlackLine matching tool to automate and create efficiencies in your month-end close processes. Thanks again.